Now, disk shadowing and disk mirroring, in reality there is a difference in the technology, but the exam actually treats them basically the same at the level that you need to know for the CISSP exam. For example, disk mirroring means you have at least 2 hard drives, and when the data is backed up, it's going to go to both drives. So that's what disk mirroring is. So you have 2 drives with the exact same information. Disk shadowing is basically the same thing. Again, the technology is a little bit different, but on the exam they don't really go that deep into it. And then what you need to know is the reason for doing this. Why would you carry out disk mirroring or shadowing? And that's because you know, if one drive goes down, then you have the other drive. It's about redundancy and fault tolerance. And in operations we talk about a RAID system, which can also provide fault tolerance as long as you have parity being used. Parity is the information that is stored that rebuilds the data if you lose a drive. So great, these all sound like great solutions, so why don't we just buy it all? Or which ones do we need to buy? That's a very confusing question, especially when you have all these different options. The decision has to come down to the result really of what has been carried out, you know, the information that's already been carried out based on the business impact values. Like we talked about, that we've understand the MTD values, that how long resources can be down, and that will determine which type of data backup and restore solution that's going to be in place based on how bad it's going to hurt our company the longer we are without data. So it's kind of an interesting balancing act to be able to figure out the recovery point objective. And the CISSP exam doesn't really use that terminology, recovery point objective. It sticks to MTD more. Recovery time objective means that there's, you know, it's basically the same thing. When do you actually have to get things back up and running? But an interesting part of this recovery time objective is that realizing actually getting back up and running, that's expensive, because you're going to spend a lot of money getting back up and running. And so it's not just what your company is going to lose in revenue as it's down, it's also how much are you going to have to spend to get back up and running. So that some teams have kind of missed that and just looked at the MTD value and says, we got to be running up in you know, so many hours, we need to have this in place. Well, how much is this going to cost you, and how much is it going to cost you when you actually have to put it in action? So even though that the developing this plan can be complex, it increases in complexity in that the more that we're involved with the web, the more dependent we are with internet connection and e-commerce, and the level of diversity within our environments, our wireless connections, and all of the different types of devices. So the actual resources and time and solutions is actually getting more complex of how to properly get things up and going, but in the industry there's a lot more products to be able to get things up and going in a streamlined fashion than there were before. So if you look at this graphic, I think it's very interesting that this is how you understand what type of technology you would put in place. The recovery time means how fast do we have to get back up and running. Recovery point actually means how long or how much data can we go without. Now, the CISSP exam doesn't go as much into the recovery point. You would see this though if you're in this industry, or if you had to develop a business continuity plan. You need to know when you have to be up and running, means an hour, 2 hours, however, based on the amount of revenue usually you're going to lose, but also how much data can we lose. That has more to do with the recovery point, meaning that we can't lose any data, which means we have to have synchronous, constant backup. It has to be in real time. Now, if we we could afford to lose maybe a day's worth of data of backup information, changes to our original, the original data we have. If that can go for a day, then we could do our backups maybe in a batch job at the end of the day. But so understanding when you have to come back up and how much data you can or can't lose really comes into the equation of figuring out what solutions need to be put in place.